Hello, hello. Going live today, all talk and fun about email marketing. Only marketers and contractors get super pumped about email marketing. But today, guys, we are really going to dive in and talk all about the importance of email marketing. And especially right now, you need to know what's working. And so, email marketing is actually one of the things that really gives us an opportunity to cultivate and work with our existing database. And so I want to tell you this is how we're going to know that your actual customer list is a gold mine, right? It is full, it's a treasure box that has all of these wonderful people that have already trusted you, services that have already been rendered. And hopefully you've had a great customer journey experience there. And now we're going to talk about like how do you make the most of that? How do you keep going? Right. So contractors, right? We spend a ton of money on PPC, Facebook ads, websites, billboards, radio, all of these things that we are doing for marketing. We spend a ton of time trying to get them done. We spend a lot of money and effort on chasing things sometimes, when really at the end of the day, I think that we have a lot of opportunity just literally at our fingertips. But we don't always, as I call, we don't always pick up the shovel, right? And so the cheapest, warmest lead that we can work through, an audience that we have is our existing customers. And those are people, especially those of you that are already doing a lot of other things right. So if you're already doing a lot of other things right and you feel like, man, where am I missing? Odds are it's email marketing. And people are like, oh, email marketing might be dead. It might be. Listen, let me tell you about your girl here. I'm going to tell you what I do. I'm telling you, it is a collection of all things that make a good marketing strategy. Advertising is the tactics that added together equals the marketing strategy. So today, I'm going to talk to you about the one advertising tactic that needs to be a part of your comprehensive marketing plan. That is going to be a surprise when you do it correctly. So, Crystal Williams, founder and lead strategist at Lemon Seed Marketing. And today, I want to kick off this meeting by telling you a couple of things. We do an awesome LinkedIn newsletter. Every single month, we are popping out great newsletters over there. If you love LinkedIn, my team is going to put it in the chat here. There's an easy way for you to go subscribe to our LinkedIn newsletter. And also, I am here to tell you about our Lemon Seed Conference in January. We're also going to be posting some information about that throughout this event. And so I would love for you guys to click and get subscribed to our LinkedIn newsletter. Very easy to do. It's right there in the chat. But also at the end of this, I'm going to talk about our Lemon Seed Conference that's coming up in January here in East Texas, and I want to talk to you more about that. But let's jump into the email list here. So, y'all, you have past customers, you have old estimates, we have tune-up reminders, indoor air quality, and for my pest control and roofing people, like just following up on different services that are out there. So most of y'all are leaving your existing customer database, like sitting untouched. Listen, sometimes my East Texas pops out. We're out there sitting around, but it's sitting out there and it's probably untouched and uncapitalized on, if you will. So here we go. Let's talk about, there's three things, and I'm checking on my notes because I want to make sure I cover everything because I get excited. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I get pumped up. I get excited because a lot of you are sleeping on this, or you're doing it very sloppily. I don't know if sloppily is a word it is going to be today. Are you doing email marketing, but it's just missing some pieces? So here are the three things that we are going to use to measure success with our email marketing. Number one is going to be open rate. Okay, so our open rate measures whether the subject line and the sender are actually making a connection. Okay, is it strong enough for you to get attention? And so weak subject lines a lot of times are a reason that our open rate is low. So here's a stat for you. So if your open rate on your emails is below 20 to 30%, there is opportunity on your actual open rate. So open rate quite literally means how many people are opening that email. So I want you to think about your own email inbox. And so here, I don't know if you're a one box email person or two boxes. So I'd love for you to tell me what email camp you're in the chat here. Do you have one email where everything comes to, or do you have your work email and a personal email? So I have a personal email. That personal email is where I send everything so I can get $10 off. It's where everything that I just want to kind of go check every once in a while. But my main communication is through my work email. right? So I want you to think about yourself as the average homeowner in your email inbox. You have a ton of things that are going in there. So the open rate means that what you said in that one little subject line, and now there's an AI preview that can come up on a lot of emails. What is written right there? Look at the sight of that. Look at that is so tiny. You literally have a tiny amount of time to grab their attention. And so this is not rocket science here. It's just about thinking like, okay, I'm going to go with a serious subject line. I'm going to go with a more funny subject line. You have to be a little flexible and try some things there because when you're open rate, we got to get people to open it before we can measure anything else, right? So open rate definitely needs to be above 30% to know that we're doing a good job. Okay. Below 30% equals opportunity. It equals places for you to be able to identify and start testing different things. I want y'all to start looking, it's a mindset. I want you to start looking at opportunities. Like you're not failing because your open rates are below 30. It's an opportunity to get them better, right? Now, if you've got a very low, super low open rate, there's a couple of things that can impact that. Weak subject lines to me are a big one, a huge one. Like, you know, also like Merry Christmas from your lemon seed team. Okay, you know what? They're gonna be like, this is an email full of Merry Christmassy, stuff. I don't want to open that. But if you start thinking of subject lines that are more fun and more unique, like there's a surprise inside for you. We're human and we're nosy, so we're like, okay, let me see. And remember, the majority of you have an ideal avatar of a woman. Women want surprises and discounts and specials and uniques, uh, early access. Listen, we're bougie at heart. We want to kind of feel like we are getting something cool. So most women that we're emailing are our decision makers. And so we want to make sure that we're really, playing into that. Make sure you're researching that ideal avatar for yourself to know that. But another thing that can affect your open rate is just a poor list in general, meaning that you might have built up an email list of tons and tons of emails, thousands of emails. Eventually, if many of those start wavering and being out of use, or you've got a bunch of mistypes and things like that, I definitely think that can play a big piece of that. And then too many inactive emails also can be a problem. So open rate is our number one thing because we can't do anything until they open the flipping email. So we want to be watching open rate. We want it to be above 30%. Next one that we're going to measure is our click-through rate. So this is the rate of people that are actually engaging once they open the email. So I'm not a regular engager in some things, but today, for example, I got an email from an HR company who is talking about how to incorporate AI into your employee handbook. That's kind of interesting to me. So I clicked through to go see what their webinar was going to be about, right? So I got an email about a webinar and then I clicked the link to see more about the webinar. That's click through rate. So I literally clicked through the email to go somewhere else. Email's just a vehicle to getting them to your online booking or to your online chat or whatever we're trying to send them to, your specials page. It's literally a click through the email to a destination. So your click through rate is, if we are below a 5% click through rate, 5% click through rate, if you're below that, then that is where we're like, something's going on. So on our click through rate, it's just showing whether your message and offer were really relevant and impactful enough to encourage the click through, right? Were your click through, my words today, was your message and offer and wording and graphics, all of it together, was it good enough to get that click through and engagement? And so there's that. A good open rate. So if you have a good open rate, remember, so above 30% open rate, but a bad click-through rate, your content is just not connecting and your offer isn't compelling enough to drive the click-through. So that's what we want to work on, right? We want to work on, again, guys, it's the game of chess you never get to get up. So you sit down and you work through it. And so by doing that, you're like, okay, let me try this subject line. Y'all remember, so I hated chemistry in school. I'm not science driven. It's not my jam. But I remember there has to be a variable. There has to be a constant. So it's the same concept in email marketing. Don't go and every month change everything every time. So Start with open rates. Start with the actual subject line and cleaning up your list. That would be my number one goal. What are my subject lines? And then what are my actual click-through rates from there? I would monitor that first. And then when I feel like I've gotten a decent vibe there, then I can start worrying about content. But when you're only worried about changing all of it all the time, you don't have anything to measure what actually moves the needle. So I encourage you there, like a good open rate plus a bad click-through rate is helping you know, okay, I need to change my offer. Some of you oversell in email. So what happens is you're putting out email content, but it's always like 0% financing for 60 months. Termite treatment repair. Hey, do you need a new roof? And I'll be honest, I don't think people vibe with that. I think there's a place for that, but I think most emails need to be compelling. They need to tell a story. They need to be on brand, and then you can soft sell in there. But again, I just think this requires a strategy depending on what you're trying to do, what you're trying to open, what you're trying to build. You know, there's so much to take in here, but right now I just wanted to focus on those things. So number one, open rate. Number two, click-through rate. And number three, the conversion rate. So we got them to open it. We got them to click, but did we actually get them to convert over to business? I don't know about y'all. I've never been able to make one payroll off of clicks and impressions directly, right? So that's why I say now we need to know, like, did this make us any money? Did we make any actual revenue from these emails? And so there could be, that's the next level, that's the deeper level of performance on your email. So you got to start somewhere, right? So click through or start with open rate, then work on your click through rate. Now we're going to work on the conversion. So conversion, I really feel like is a challenge that is in the middle of your day. I'm so sorry. I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. There is just my point, what I'm talking about here. All of a sudden, I'm like, let me click down here again. Conversion rate. I'm going to start over with conversion rate. With conversion rates, I think the challenge that happens to us is we think we have a good call to action in there, but we really don't. We don't at all. It's very clunky. It's very salesy. So people automatically click off. What I want you to do is think about your messaging inside of there has to be driven to compel them to think through and want to know more. And then when I land them on my website and I land them where I want them to land, is it easy to actually book with me? Is it easy for you to call? Is it easy for you to text? Is it easy for you to book online? If those things are not happening, then you are definitely in a challenge because you're sending out emails and you're doing a lot of work, but it's just not coming to fruition for you. And it's not a good step to do that. So let me pull my notes back up again here. So let's talk about what these numbers actually mean, right? So when we are below 20 to 30% on those open rates, it means we're leaving opportunity on the table. So I don't know about you guys, but again, Darian's going to pop in here our LinkedIn from the Yellow Lens newsletter that you can subscribe to. In that newsletter, we are constantly putting new ideas for you and new thought processes out there just around marketing. They're not salesy, they're literally marketing tips. But I want you to know, like, you're leaving opportunity on the table when you don't deploy marketing tactics like email marketing that also are asking for the business, right? We want to ask for the business and we need to ask for the business. And so those open rates are really important. So we can even get in front of them, guys. Like, we can't get in front of anyone if they're not opening our emails. So I implore you to really start working on those click-through rates, on the open rates. So again, open rate above 30% is our target, okay? Click-through rate below 5%. The content just didn't pull people forward. The content just didn't get people booked and clicking through. If conversions are low, they may offer, if the conversion, once they get in there, is low, a lot of times it's just straight up the offer, okay? It's just straight up the offer. So I had some stats pulled for us for this. And so MailChimp said in late 2024, so we've had another year of time, but this was their latest study, average open rates across industries was 34.23%, okay? With the average click-through rate being like 3.66%. So if you're using Marketing Pro or you're using MailChimp or you're using Constant Contact or you're using some other email platform, I would use those as some very simple lines of communication, of KPIs, several easy KPIs for you to use there. And I think it just makes you be able to have something to measure by. So let me tell you another couple of things I want to say here, right? When we are measuring, we have to have realistic expectations. This is the conversation I had with Emily yesterday. Emily's my partner here at Lemon Seed. You will start fixing things for your email, and you're like, oh, this didn't work, this didn't work, this didn't work. You have to be patient, because as you start manipulating things and keep going, you will have to manipulate things and then give it time to work. So if you're like, well, I changed my subject line, this didn't work. Email marketing doesn't work. That is the natural side of contractors. This didn't work. Cut it. Throw it out. Again, I want to share with you guys a recipe. Y'all know I can get on a good cake analogy, right? So when you ask me for a piece of cake, I don't hand you an egg, or just a cup of flour or just vanilla. I have to actually hand you all of those things that I cook together makes the cake, right? Makes the cake. So when we're talking about email marketing, it's one tactic. So you have to keep working on that one tactic to make it right. So again, I think Darian's put these already in the chat, but I'll say them again. Your goal for open rate is above 30%. Your goal for click-through rate is above 5%. And your goal for conversion rate, let me see, what did I say about conversion rate? Let me look. Thought I had memorized these now. Click-through rate, conversion rate. Conversions are low. Okay, when we talk about conversions, we really want to just overall be able to see revenue in general from these things, right? So email marketing should be fairly inexpensive. And so when you are looking at actual conversions from there, we just need to see movement. We need to see a consistent growth in actual revenue that are clicking through the emails for sure. And so those industry benchmarks I shared with you guys, but email is still producing, according to Email Tool Tester, which Email Tool Tester is a tool that I use to just measure spot check emails that a lot of our clients are doing. It's still producing a $20 to $36 return for every $1 spent. And so again, you can be doing prospecting emails. I'm more focusing on just your existing database, people that have already trusted you, people that already know your brand, have already gone through your customer journey, have already engaged with your brand. I'm going to say that you should be getting a decent return on those. But a solid click-through rate and all of those things, I want you to measure those every single month, and you should be increasing. So here's another couple of things that we can do, actionable steps for ourselves, right? So number one, let's talk about, for actionable steps, let's talk about segmenting your list. Okay, so segmenting your list means if I walk into a room full of people, I want to be able to put them in groups where I can talk to them all the same. So if I walk into a big room and I separate everybody out, I want to be able to be like, okay, you have not had a tune-up. You have had a tune-up. You've bought a new system. You have not bought a new system. You used our company for HVAC, but not for plumbing. You used our company for plumbing, but not for electrical. Guys, the opportunities on there are flipping endless. You just have to have a way. So, tune-up customers, big ticket customers, club members, non-club members, lost estimates, people that could not get finance, people that did get finance but didn't buy. Each group needs a different message. So let 2026 be the year that you niche down those audiences and you custom curate messages that really speak to them about, hey, we were at your house last summer. We were at your house last winter. We worked on your chimney. We did your pest control. We did a termite inspection. We did a roof inspection. We had a hail damage. I can keep going, y'all. That's what I do. I do it all day long, right? I can keep going, right? But you need to start segmenting your audience by tags or whatever you want to use inside of your email platform, and make sure that they are actively working on that's fine. Actively just make sure that you are actively working on building out audiences that you can curate messages to. This takes time, it takes energy, it takes intentionality, but honestly, at the end of the day, this is how we actually can start checking on the conversions. Does this make sense? So here's what I say. I'm going to send one email newsletter, okay, to everyone in my database. Well, that newsletter has to be fairly generic, but it can be very on brand, like cool things to do in the market, a weather updates, all these cool things, right? Well, at the end of the day, though, that's talking to everybody, which means it's really not super compelling to anyone in particular. But I'll tell you, I send email newsletters every single month for top of mind. But if you really want to get an actionable item, then you would say, hey, we were at your house and you've trusted us for HVAC, Miss Williams, but we would love to offer you a free drain clearing or, just a special on a plumbing offer. That makes me go, oh yeah, I've never used them for plumbing, but I've used them for HVAC. That's talking directly to me. That makes me really stand up and pay attention. So segmenting your list is a super cool thing that you can do. Number 2, clean your list regularly. Remove the bad emails, prune the unengaged contacts, and keep your deliverability up. So we're smart, right? Systems are smart. Email platforms are smart. They understand if you're sending all of your content out to a bad list that's not engaging. So therefore, they start slowing that train down. So I would say at least quarterly, you need to be doing a good cleanse of the email list, right? Just clean it up, make sure it's active, make sure it's live. And a lot of times your actual email platform will let you know what is going on, right? What is happening that you can't send it out like, hey, these are bad emails or whatever. This is unengaged. The actual software itself tells you that. The third thing that we can do. So the number 1 was segment your list. Number 2 was clean your list and update it regularly. And number 3, improve your subject line. Test with things like curiosity, urgency, or clarity, or things that really kind of click with the homeowner themselves. Remember, don't think like a contractor. Don't think like a contractor. Think like a homeowner. Think like a homeowner. So, and think like people that have a bazillion emails coming in. How can yours stand out and even be on brand? Maybe you have a funny type, or maybe you have you're a sarcastic kind of brand. There's lots of things there. So work on those subject lines, test them, test them, test them. Number 4, track the whole funnel. So that's what I was telling you about earlier. You want to know open rate, you want to know click-through rate, and you want to know conversion rate. All 3 of those KPIs are how we know that we're being successful, but it helps you make it better and better. So once you get one, you keep working, you keep working. So my open rate gets high. Now I'm going to focus on my click rate. When my click-through rate gets high, I'm going to focus on conversions. So how do we get there, right? And listen, even Lindsay has to do this with our own emails. How do we get there? And then benchmark and improve monthly. You don't need perfection. We just need progress, right? You don't need perfection. You just need progress. So many people just need progress. Just get started. Just get going. You can totally do this, right? You can totally do it. And so, even asking your team, hey, would you open this or delete this email based off my subject line, right? There's a lot of things that you can do there to really control that part. So I want to know what are some of your hurdles for email marketing. I'm happy to tell you who a lot of our clients use. We have really good response. So our strategy is every month we custom curate, meaning we write all the content. We develop localized content for our contractors. So this is not some like regular email that goes out for 20 of our customers. Every single one of our customers gets a custom email newsletter every month. And then we also have a secondary email normally that's going out to a different audience. Most of the time it's non-members that we want to be members, or it's specials for our existing members. And so email is just one of the most slept on things. And right now we need it because unless it gets really cold or some of you like really get the weather that you need, you're going to be struggling for leads. And so this is a good way to actually use people that are already there and a very low cost way to do this. So I'm going to have Darian pop up one more time. I really want to encourage you guys to click through and go follow and subscribe to our LinkedIn newsletter every month from the Yellow Lens. Behind the Yellow Lens, Darian's going to get on to me because I can't remember the name of it. But it is definitely a great source. So Darian takes our content and creates these wonderful articles every single month that are all about marketing. So easy for them to be delivered right into your the Yellow Lens. Break down topics, easy, contractor-friendly way. So go subscribe. It will email you and let you know that one's out. But let's talk about the Lemon Seed Conference 2026 for a minute. So in January 25th in Lufkin, Texas, we are doing our conference for the 6th year. We are so excited. But it is a marketing focused conference specifically for home services. But this year we're kind of changing things up. We're bringing our keynotes. We'll have 4 of them. They are from outside the heating and air conditioning and home service businesses. They're actually going to be doing super cool things in other industries, but we can learn so much from them. But my favorite part is going to be that we are 100% doing marketing roundtables where you sit down with us, and we are openly discussing all of these different marketing hot topics. I have some industry experts and vendor friends that are going to be here to help me facilitate those. You are going to love the discussion, love how we are openly learning from each other and all through a guided discussion. So that's going to be amazing. And then y'all know limiting. And if you don't, this is not your conference. It's not over the top. We're not doing big show things, but we have 2 really good parties. One party is going to be at our local airplane hangar here, where our theme is at the movies. And so our local airplane hangar will be out there. We're going to have some really good Mexican food, and just a really good time meeting each other, networking that evening with some cool music. And then the other night, we're doing a straight up casino party, Casino Royale. Thank you to Broccoli's going to be sponsoring that. Chirp actually sponsored our kickoff party at the hangar. So listen, so many cool things going on. Synchrony's a sponsor. They're going to be doing some cool stuff. So listen, it is unlike any industry, unlike any conference in the industry. You want to come and just talk marketing and how we can grow your business, how you can grow your business. We're going to learn from each other. We're going to lead a lot of discussions. And God, this is it. This is where you come, you bring your internal marketer, you come alone, you come with somebody. It is also super cheap to come. I think off the streets like $5.99 for you to come to our conference. So not these overly expensive ones. An easy way for you to get here. And if you're a limited client, you get a ticket for free. And then it's a half price to bring anybody else. So we are hoping to see everybody in Lufkin, Texas, January 25th through the 27th, 2026. Also, DM our page if you want a discount code. Darian has a few discount codes that I'd be happy to send out if you're not a client. Maybe I can get a few people to take advantage of a few little discount codes I have out there. So private message either us on YouTube or on Facebook, or you can email me at crystal@lemonseedmarketing.com. Tell me why you deserve a discount ticket to come to the conference. Would love to hear your story and see if I can't help you get here for our conference. Again, thank you to all of our sponsors that have already committed, but you are about to see a lot of that information start getting pushed out. It is important to me that contractors have access to good marketing advice. We are not a digital agency. We do not do websites. We are not a website company. We love working with website vendors that are doing really good jobs. We are fractional CMO style companies. We are where creativity meets strategy. And so I really hope that last but not least, you're going to want to check out my webinar tomorrow with Trey Mack, my brother. And we're talking about operational excellence a lot tomorrow, scaling your business, operational excellence, and how we dealt with marketing and just overall expectations for our team, and how we grew McWilliams in a rural market, and then how we've done similar things in larger markets. So we really hope that you can sign up for that. I'll give Darian a minute. She can find the link, she or Madison, to pop in the chat there if you want to get registered for that. And if you just want to join our email list, pop your email in right here. We're happy to send you a newsletter that goes out every single month. It tells you about all of our webinars and lives and conferences and free content that we're putting out very consistently. Oh yes, and then Barbara Havard will be here. She's our favorite photo booth gal. She's going to be here getting all types of at our conference, getting all types of content from y'all in our photo booths, and she always does a great job. A hip and happening local business owner here in East Texas. So listen, join Crystal and Trey. There is that link right there in the chat for you to be able to sign up for the webinar tomorrow, Strategy and Structure, a dynamic duo for success. We're talking about organizational structure, operational excellence, and how that really is what drives the needles. Marketing really can't take the benefit or can't take the credit. But listen, guys, it's a really cool way to get engaged. But I want you all to know I would love to see you in Lufkin, Texas. Get your email marketing under control. You're going to be in the shoulder season. It's the best way. You need help with strategy. You need help with emails. You need help with social media. Lemon Seed is here to help you. We would love to visit with you. Drop your email for us if there's anything we can do, and just send you any information that we have. But again, Crystal Williams, lead strategist and co-founder at Lemon Seed Marketing, where we help home service contractors build the right stack of vendors to help them make the most beautiful brand and grow all of your advertising to grow your business year over year with our help and our strategy. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. Go sign up for the Lemon Seed, the Yellow Lens on LinkedIn. Come to our conference, and I'll see you on the webinar tomorrow with Trey. Have a great Thursday.